I'm making a squirrel trap. It's basically a frame with a lot of snares on. I'll show you a little bit better afterwards. As you can see, I have this angled pole. It's the typical, I think everyone knows about. And on this I have 1, 2, 3, 4 snares. And it's important that you put the lowest one so high that the squirrel won't touch the ground. And another thing, you see this kind of bridge? The squirrels love bridges. If they can run from the one tree to another tree like this, they'll be very happy. So I just put a one. You can continue with several ones between all these trees to make a very effective trap. As with all traps, you need to know where your animals are, where your prey stays. In these trees, I know there are several squirrels hanging around year round. I've seen them frequently, so this is a good place. If you don't know where they are, there's no meaning on putting up a trap. As I said, these ladders or bridges, you can make them across for many hundred meters if you want. It helps a lot. You'll get a lot better chance to catch them. I have four snares on the pole going up to the tree, and I also have 3 snares on the bridge. So this is a good squirrel snare setup. All the snares combined is what we call a trap. Up you see the strap. It's natural A-frame, and it has a hook. I left a twig just to be able to hang it up in a tree, like so. We prefer it hang it a little bit higher, of course, but just a demo. You see this snares. They're pretty small and pretty low. That's for catching smaller birds. If you want to catch some pigeon type birds, you should open it a little bit more and put it a little bit higher. For catching birds like thrush and that size, you should have a loop about 2 inches and 2 inches above the twig where they're gonna land, because they want to land not on the bait but right beside it. And make sure the loops will snare very easy. The bird will come, land, and it will feel something around its neck and then go away and catch it. It will be hanging here. You see these flowers? It's only for simulating the bait. The ideal bait for this is red berries. Red berries are very visible and will attract birds very easily. So you can use berries from the rowan or berries from the ground, even so. So put that in the middle, jam it in between these twigs, and a snare on each side. Very easy to make. You see, I just did. I used my knife to remove some small twigs, but it's not necessary. You can break it and just twist these two parts together. This is quite big frame. It was the only one I can find right now. So and I secured it with a little bit of spruce roots. Not necessary. If it's thinner branches, you can twist them more around each other. Easy to make, easy to carry, and very easy to set up. Ready at once. This is a well-tested, well-used method. It's similar to another trap on my channel, the old style bird trap. This is just another configuration of that. So, hope you like my baited bird trap, and now I'm gonna show you some unbaited bird trap and how to set them. As a part of the survival trap series, I'm here today to show you some snares for survival trapping. So let's start on. What we're gonna do now is to I couldn't find any good track, and the snow is so hard, so any tracks wouldn't be visible now. But let's say we find some tracks going through this brush, and it can be grouse, Arctic grouse or mountain grouse or what you call it. It's a bird in the grouse family, mainly in the mountains here in Norway. So, and it's still legal to trap them with snares. So we'll fix this area and show you how it's done. At the same time, this area is filled with snowshoe hare. So this trap type, or this setup, is basically the same for a snowshoe hare. It's just a snare had to be a little bit bigger. So we'll look at that too. You can use bank line. I'll show you that today. You can use the inner cord of paracord. Or what I like best, snare wire, or it's actually tripwire, booby trap wire from the army, but it's still it's just steel wire coated with some green plastic paint. It's very good. I split it up my simple thin bank line into 3 pieces. I get a loop like this, and I just tie an overhand knot over the other, so when you pull it stays there, and you can open it again. There are a couple of these. I also made one out of the steel wire, and the length I used for this snares are about 30 centimeters or 1 foot. As simple as that. And here is also one from the inner core of paracord. You can see it's very loose, and it's a little bit more fiddly because you have to find small twigs and kind of hold the string in the right position. So it's not the best choice, but it's possible. Now, as you can see, the fence is finished and is ready to put on a snare. Let's start with the paracord. As you can see, this is a double overhand knot, and it's continuously trying to open up because this as a snare wire is not very good. So if you want to do that, you have to be able to open it like this. You can take some notches in the branches and jam it there. Well, I prefer the steel wire, and I'll show you with that. To prevent it sliding off, I just make a little kink in the wire, like so. And attach it to one of the legs. And then we just tied it up a little bit, so there will not be any options to go around the loop. Like so. Okay, so let's bend this away. It can still be here. And do the same with the cordage snare. See how that goes. With a cordage snare, you will have to find some ways to expand it. You can use this small twig here. And I can do a notch in like so. Well, I hope you get the idea. With a string or cordage snare loop, you have to kind of attach it some kind in such a way that it will loosen when something goes into the snare. So steel wire is the first option. You can also use fishing line, but as with the cordage, it's not a good, it's not the best option. So this is how you do it to catch some grouse, especially in the winter, but also in the summer. Make this kind of fence where you know they are walking and eating, and then they have to go through this entrance, this highway. And if you have a lot of tracks, you can use the tracks and make the highway or the entrance there and close off the surroundings. It doesn't like to go through this tunnel, but if everything is closed up, they don't have much choice, and they will go through until you catch them. So I hope this is was understandable. And you see this fence I made? I did this in a few minutes. If you make a 1 hour long fence, you will have a fence about 100 meters, and that's and you can have an opening every 50 meter or so, and you'll have a lot of snares out there. But remember, check your local regulations. Don't do this if it's not legal. You can do the same to catch a rabbit. You need this twice as big, and this loop should be also about twice as big, a good fist size, and the fence a little bit higher, and that's the way to do it. It's a little bit easier for rabbits because you can find droppings and tracks of them much easier than from a bird. Droppings. Another very visible sign is all this. You can see it's chewing down from here to up here. So this is a place revisiting during snow melting. You can also see some of the droppings look a little more fresh. And here we'll mostly do this in the morning, and the ground is still frozen, so we will not leave a track. So you have to look for other signs than tracks. This one is pretty fresh. Maybe during the last week sometimes. So it's obviously there are some snowshoe hares and rabbits in this area. Underneath her, it's a little creek, stream. That's why all these trees are growing on the side of it, and this is a typical feeding area for a rabbit. It will cross the field and go to this nutritious plants along the stream, and this is where you want to put your traps up. See all this brush here? It will cross through here several times to find the best options. And here you can make a fence out of twigs with some openings, just as I showed you for the grouse trap. When you want to put up your traps, you need to know the animal you're going to trap. You need to know where it feeds, what it eats, and try and find some signs. If you don't have any animal tracks at all,